Okay, guys, this next huge topic in the news is regarding the death of the opposition leader in Russia, Nemstov. Uh, he was the Boris Nemstov. He was the opposition leader to Putin in Russia, and apparently he was shot. He was assassinated, and of course, the West is trying to blame Putin for it. And I say how convenient because they've been trying to demonize Putin for quite a while now. And this all stems down to we have to go back to understand this whole situation in Ukraine. You have to go back to the initial coup, which was staged by the U.S. State Department. Uh, they initially sent in a bunch of mercenaries to overthrow the Ukraine government and install of course, the Rothschild-controlled puppet government there. I believe for the purposes of to later on invade Russia. But anyways, I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself. To understand the whole situation, we have to go back to that initial coup. And let's start with this propaganda video, and you'll see what I mean. And there you have it. Okay, so there's the agenda. They're doing this. They're slowly taking over other countries, invading other countries, destabilizing other countries, for the purposes of taking over these governments and slowly forming their new world order, as the Rothschilds, of course, want. And this is happening in Syria. It's happening in Ukraine. It happened in Libya. Uh, Now they're trying to make it happen in Russia. They want to invade Russia. They're now sending Canada, the UK, and which other country was it now? Canada, UK, and the US. Yeah, are sending troops to the Ukraine. So what they claim is for training purposes. Okay. We all know NATO wants to occupy that area for, of course, a later ground invasion of Russia. And so what they're doing here, I believe, is they're trying to frame Putin any way they can. The same way they tried to frame Putin, of course, if you remember, for the Malaysia airplane MH17 crash over Ukraine not too long ago. Okay, and if you remember that incident, you'll remember that Russia came back and exposed Ukraine for carrying out this downing of the aircraft by themselves, of course. And Russia even offered the satellite imagery to prove their case that the Ukraine military had a Buk-1 missile system in place at the time of the crash. So let's view that for a second, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so there you have it. Basically pointing out that they did have the missile systems in place right near the crash scene. And, you know, you can draw your own conclusions to that one. Uh, and this is what I mean, that they've been, the West have been trying to frame Putin to justify, frame Putin and demonize him to justify an invasion of Russia. The same way they did with, of course, Saddam Hussein claiming he had weapons of mass destruction. And, of course, using that as an excuse to justify the Iraqi invasion. And, of course, none were discovered. Because, you know, it's all a false flag, of course. And I believe they're using this assassination of Putin's opposition leader to try and demonize Putin, and in the eyes of the masses in the West, and to justify the NATO troops being in Ukraine, and of course to later justify the no doubt invasion that they're going to try and carry off of Russia. And you can read these articles for yourselves. I'm not going to go through it because I'm kind of limited for time on this video. But you can check all these videos out. This one's on RT. I am the Ukrainian video, and of course the Malaysia MH17 crash video, satellite imagery by the Russian military, and it's posted by RT. So check it all out. Draw your own conclusions. I'm not going to try to convince you either way, because most of you probably do have your mind made up of what you believe happened. Do your own research, check it out, and do a lot of digging regarding the past incidences that have occurred in Ukraine. It's not what the mainstream media is trying to make it out to be. Okay, so of course most of you have been following these hoaxes and know what I'm talking about, are very up to speed on this stuff. But for those of you who are new and don't really know what's going on, maybe not really into politics, definitely do your own research and read into this stuff. And you'll see the hidden agenda behind the mainstream media propaganda. And of course this is all leading up to the New World Order takeover, slowly, one country at a time, one invasion at a time, and of course the demonization of one foreign leader at a time by NATO and the US. But anyways, this is pretty much all I have to say. Like I say, I'm limited for time, so I'm going to cut it here, and have a great day. Bye-bye.